y'all, I'm Liz. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that's sugar. Now, I never heard the term sugar addiction or being a sugar addict until just recently here within the past year and a half. But I think it's pretty safe to say that I grew up sugar addicted. I lived in a household where there was a lot of ultra-processed food. There was a lot of cakes, cookies, ice cream. If we got a reward, we got a slice of cake or we got ice cream. I think I was 4 when I first started cooking in my mom's kitchen, and the very first thing I cooked was a batch of brownies. And it was normal. This is just how we ate. Sugar was a part of our life. We didn't have dessert every single day, but we had dessert an awful lot. Or we had Honey Nut Cheerios or Lucky Charms. As I grew up and got to be a young adult, my version of a healthy meal was literally fried chicken strips on a salad with honey mustard dressing. My favorite breakfast in college was a chocolate yoo-hoo and those little powdered donuts that come in like the 6-pack or the whole entire bag. And of course, once you open the bag, it's just gone. I still didn't look at sugar as a bad thing, even when my father was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And that should have been a huge wake-up call. But my wake-up call didn't come until years later when I developed celiac disease, which, ironically, is on the same gene that mutates for type 2 diabetes, or celiac disease is what they say. So when I was diagnosed as a celiac, suddenly cutting down on the sugar and getting the sugar out of my life so that I didn't progress into a diabetic actually became a concern. Having an intense gluten allergy actually made it easier for me to ditch the carbs and ditch the sugar in a lot of respects, because I liked nothing better than bread, donuts, cake, muffins. Give me an everything bagel slathered with cream cheese. I had never met a gluten product that I just didn't love. And though I fought and railed against having celiac disease for at least 2.5 years, I looked for every substitute known to man to try to get that mouth pleasure, that fix of what the gluten had meant to me. We cheated every weekend when we first started low carb. We weren't doing it as a lifestyle. We were doing it to try to lose weight. So pizza, subs, all the things that we couldn't have during the week, that's what we would save up for the weekend. And my celiac disease was progressing to the point where that was a really just painful, horrible way to live, was poisoning myself weekend after weekend. So I turned to a lot of whole foods. I did a lot of chicken and avocado and balsamic vinegar on a salad and nuts and fruit, and still trying to keep low carb. But let's face it, most people will tell you that low carb is anything under 120 grams. And we, actually, when we were doing keto, we're trying to stay under about 40 to 50 grams of carbs a day. And y'all already know that I yo-yoed up and down. I think that in the course of trying to lose 30 pounds, I have lost the same 10 pounds at least 10 different times, where I've lost it, gained it, lost it, gained it. It was getting all the gluten out of my life, down to some of the supplements that I was taking that I thought were super healthy for me, literally had gluten in them, but because supplements are not regulated by the FDA, they didn't have to put that it had gluten on it on the label. And unknowingly, I took gluten every single day, literally up until March of 2023. But even during that time period, dealing with our sugar addiction, or even realizing that we were sugar addicted, because I was definitely addicted to sugar. I had never met a sweet treat I didn't enjoy, just love, down to juices, everything, even though the orange juice is real healthy for you. Well, yeah, no, it's really not, because all it is just packed in with sugar. But the term sugar addiction hadn't entered my vocabulary. It hadn't entered my mind. So when we first started low carb, that we did low carb throughout the week, and then we would cheat on the weekends, and I stopped kind of cheating on the weekends with what I had been cheating on, but I would still cheat. And what I turned to, when we first started low carb, they didn't really have all of these keto-friendly snacks or anything like that. So, man, I was cheating like with peanut butter and chocolate dipped in the peanut butter. All I really wanted was a Reese's peanut butter cup. And then it was 2021. I believe it was Christmas time when we went to the store and noticed these. Oh, yeah. Keto-friendly, net grams of carbs, chewy fudgy brownie, and there was like a cake and different things that you could get to cook. It was Christmas time, and I wanted to cheat during Christmas time, and these were gluten-free, and so we bought them and we did them. Needless to say, didn't lose any weight that month because my body did not agree with the ultra-processed food that's in here. My body did not agree with the highly processed, modified, chemically made fiber that they put in here to get these net grams of carbs. Fiber that really hasn't even been tested to see if it's actually safe. It's just generally recognized as safe. And generally recognized as safe was not a term that I even knew when I started eating these, where it is just where the manufacturer, the food manufacturer says, it's okay. It's okay. But I really don't think that we should trust somebody who makes the substance that they're calling generally recognized as safe and then tells us it's okay without some clinical scientific studies or trials. But I was all in. I was all in on keto-friendly snacks that had this luscious lure of 2 grams of carbs because I wanted it so bad. Of course, my body being my body, this did not agree with me. In one end and out the other, super fast, not happy, not like a great thing. And seriously, yeah, look at the ingredients list on these. Do your own research, because I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just my own experience. But if you start leaning on these keto-friendly treats, it will keep you sugar addicted. And if you're still sugar addicted, then you stand a very, very lower chance of being successful on a low-carb, keto, or even a carnivore diet. And like I said, these little beauties entered my life Christmas of 2021. And they pretty much stuck around, I'd say, for all of 2022. And the net grams of carbs, it was like I was eating the full carbs that are in here. Now, these are definitely lower than a normal brownie. And they don't have the gluten that just absolutely kills me. But if it comes in a box and it doesn't expire for years on your shelf, because I'm quite sure that even though the little thingy says Best By January of 2023, I'm pretty sure I could take this into my kitchen right now, cook it up, and it would taste just like it tasted in 2021. That's not natural. Ultra-processed food is not something that I'm willing to put into my body any longer. I've dealt with the sugar addiction for the most part. I've been low carb for so long that once I stopped looking for a substitute for gluten, once I embraced what I first absolutely hated about what was my new normal and what I could and could not eat, but once I embraced it and just went with it and went low carb and as low carb as possible, I didn't have the sugar cravings. I didn't need this little box of, I'd say pure evil ingredients, okay, that keeps you in a sugar addicted path, that keeps you unhealthy, that keeps you in a state where you're not your best and you're not living your best life. You're living a crippled life with too much insulin, on a road to diabetes, on a road to obesity. That's where I was. On that road, embracing the high blood pressure because I was already there because my insulin was so high. And there I was on that road, and until I kicked this to the curb, I didn't stand a chance of getting healthy. Now you may be sitting there wondering, and you're about to ask, why do I still have this box in my house because it literally expired January of 2023. Like, I was going to cook this Christmas of 2022 and have it and eat it. We didn't. By that point, we had moved further to where if I was going to have a dessert, I was going to have organic dark chocolate. I mean, you know, like the organic dark chocolate, 85% cocoa. I probably just said that wrong. Sorry, chocolate. I was going to have that. And I was going to have fruit as a dessert, you know, and that was going to be my cheat. Raspberries, blueberries, strawberries with the dark chocolate. But I literally have kept this in my kitchen because if I'd thrown it away earlier, I would have craved it. I would have gone out and bought it again. So for me, having it as a bad reminder, but having it in my kitchen and just being able to turn away from it and not cook it, but still just being able to physically turn my back on it and move past it is what I had to do to get past being addicted to sugar. Now that kind of probably makes me slightly crazy. I don't know. I mean, if it's a temptation, then if you had it in your house and you were going to be so tempted by it that you would have to cook it and eat it, but I wasn't, that's kind of not my personality. I have to have it to say no to, and then I'm fine. And then I don't crave it every day. I can just go about my day. I can have, you know, what I'm eating normally because now I don't have sugary desserts. Doesn't mean I don't still have those dreams. You know, sometimes there's dreams where you wake up and you've just been eating donuts in your dream. You've been eating donuts in your dream and you've been drinking chocolate milk in your dream and you wake up absolutely freaked out that you just cheated and you're going to die because of what you cheated with. And then you wake up all the way and you're like, oh, thank goodness. That was just a dream. If you've never looked at your diet, if you've never come to grips or even known that you can be addicted to sugar, if you've never thought about the fact that if it's an ultra-processed food, they make this to have fat and salt and sugar all together to make it as good as possible, to make you have to have it to keep you addicted. And if you've never known that's a thing, y'all, that's a thing. So if this helps you get off of a higher carb and then you ditch this because you've taken that step and now you're ready to move past this, then man, go for it. But don't be thinking that you're going to keep this as a lifetime alternative because you will never reach full health eating this ultra processed crap. And I've been thinking about it. Since I started this carnivore journey, you know, at the beginning of this year. And I'm ready. I'm leaving this video, all right, and I'm chunking those keto brownies. Never to be eaten, never to be consumed, never to be in my house again. And if that's what you need to do, is get into your pantry and throw out every single thing that can tempt you, go for it. Chunk it now, chunk it quick. Chunk it yesterday, but know that sugar addiction is a thing. And know that until you come face to face with that, you may have cravings that just drive you insane. I know I did. And I'm really happy that I have the kind of freedom where I've moved past needing and wanting and just craving those sugars. 98% of my life is past that point. But yeah, I do occasionally wake up from those nightmares in a cold sweat thinking that I have just eaten sugar and eaten gluten and I am just not sure what's going on in my brain. And then reality sets in and I'm like, all right. But it wasn't until I gave up trying to find a substitute that I gave up trying to find this elusive flavor that was never, ever going to be the same and embraced giving that up, that I was able to move past my sugar addictions. And y'all, that's what I want for you. I want you to be living your best healthy life. I want to be living my best healthy life. So think about that. If you found value, hit the subscribe button. smash the like button, ding that notifications bell so you know every time I put up a video. And y'all go out there and live your best possible life.